Hi, my name's Fatima Grayson. I work with LAUSD as a special ed assistant. I've been a special ed assistant for 25 years, and I work with students who have autism, who are intellectually disabled, and also may have mobility issues. I went into education, started with preschool. My youngest cousin at the time had been around the wrong people, and he took on selling drugs, and he went on a trip to Vegas to collect some money that was owed to him, and he was shot. And that experience, because he was such a young man and he was a smart man, I wanted to make a difference in a child's life. And that is why I went into education. It was far more important to me to reach students of all ages and all backgrounds and all abilities. I have found that to be extremely rewarding. I worked with, for one example, I worked with a student for 9 years, and we connected, and she just turned 21. She is going to college. She is getting her associate's degree. She has business cards and is doing work online and is very focused on a career, which most students may not be able to do that, but through having the right team work with her, especially her parents, and having the, having an advocating for her, and then having someone see that come into fruition on campus, that's what a special ed assistant does. We are there to promote the student, encourage the student, and give them all the encouragement that helps them make the best decisions. Even when they do have behaviors, they can start again. And I do love my job for that reason. And I wish that a lot of people could hear the stories of the assistants that work with the students with disabilities. I have been a member of Local 99 since I've started working. I actually looked into my verification, and I started in 1998. I did that to see how much longer I needed to work for retirement. I'm older now, obviously, and I still have the ability to do what I do. But at some point, I will retire. I do look forward to that. As of now, I'm on assignment working with community-based instruction, so I get to work with moderate to severe students. Some are mild and higher functioning. So it just depends on each year when students come. And there are a lot of freshmen, finish middle, go into high school, and our high school students can stay until they're 22 in our system. When I decided to go on strike, I thought about how it would impact my family, my daughter being a single mom, and we did have to make our voice known, and luckily UTLA and Local 99 decided to strike together. With doing that for the 3 days, we were very fortunate to have a positive outcome with wages and opportunities to get more training and work with the teachers in a different way. I think we gained a lot of respect for one another, and hope that this will continue to grow, because at this time and all the time that I have worked with LAUSD, we have had the same goal in mind, and that is to be there for the students. I always have my coworkers know the facts about what is going on with the language of the contract and what it actually means for us as special ed assistants, healthcare. There are so many facets to our job, and there are so many people in different units that work on campus, such as our custodians, our cafeteria workers. And we all, are very timid because it has been at times intimidating, but since the strike and working with UTLA and the teachers, I think we've gained a respect for one another. We do continue to grow with different trainings that are offered to us through my PLN, and I'm hoping with the new bargaining that we're going through right now, because it is a new school year, that we can come to an agreement without having to strike again. I would opt to whatever would be the best option. But striking is a very difficult decision to make. We were out in the cold. It was raining, we were wet, and we did it. I would have to say that was probably the hardest 3 days, but thank God we did it as a team. Team effort really did make the difference. I think a lot of the Local 99 members were really fired up to strike. The reason being, there is more of an outcome when there are more in numbers. And when I hear people come up to me and say, "Hey, I saw that you were on the news," and I said, "Yeah, we were striking," and it felt so empowering because I know that our voice was heard. I know that the board, the superintendent got the message. A school is run not only on administration, but the classified jobs and the certificated jobs. When I think of the strike, I think also we had time to strike at our school site, and I also went out to rallies. And when I saw that sea of purple, I was very, very happy to see that people took the time to go. We were out in LA, and for people that live in the valley, there were different ways to get there, but I drove there with other friends, and it meant a lot to know. You hear the Local 99 union say solidarity, and you hear when we fight, we win, and that was our way of fighting and using our voice and using what we had to say to paint a picture of what was going on with an individual such as myself, being a single mom, working for LAUSD. I'm grateful for the health benefits that have helped me out tremendously, and my daughter. I am a 10-year breast cancer survivor, and through that time I was so grateful to have insurance, and it means that much. And now my daughter is really going through a very hard time since the pandemic, and she needs the health insurance. And I'm grateful to have that. And I think a lot of classified employees stay. Like, you'll hear people say, oh, I've been 35 years with the district. And we stay because we build a camaraderie with one another. We stay because we build a family with the people we work with. Mm-hmm. And we support each other in a way that it can't be described. We are always, sometimes it just takes a look and we know what needs to be done. And what is hard for me is that a lot of times there's a stigma to being a special ed assistant. Oh, why would you do that job? Why would you stay in something that doesn't pay you enough to pay rent? You know, when it comes down to what we do it because we care. And it doesn't only affect the child, it affects their future and the society that they are working in and going to be a part of. Being at the rally and different rallies that I did go when we were going through the strike, I ran into people that I hadn't worked with for 10 years, 15 years, and that was a lot of fun. We got to catch up, and we got to, you know, encourage one another to keep this going. Not knowing what the outcome was going to be, but we did persevere through that. This strike was 3 days, but it took us a lot of time to prepare for it. We prepped, seemed to me, a year before, just trying to have a message come across in a way that was relatable as a person in education and a person who chose the job. I chose to be a part of education and not a professional job, a corporate job. But what we do matters because we affect the child and the family. We decided to shut the district down because there's a future in kids that will come, and we are better suited for them if we are better at what we do, and we are all family. We all have families to support also. So we stay and we work hard. There are times where I've heard, oh, you're just babysitting. We are not. We see change. We can see the smallest milestones. We work side by side with the speech pathologist, with the occupational therapist, with the nurse, and the LVNs that come in to help our students who have more of a difficult time. When I had heard that we had an agreement, we had a contract, and how the contract was broken down, I was at home watching the news, and I couldn't believe that we did it. Because they pushed back hard, the district pushed back hard. And it meant a lot to know that I was a part of that decision making by my presence and my co-workers' presence. going back to work after hearing that we had a contract and the bargaining was done, I was elated. I was very happy. It took so many years to get to this point, and the interesting part, and until this day brings a smile to my face, is the teachers were, wow, I can't believe that worked out for you guys. You guys got 30%. And I said, yeah, over time, it will come to us. And yes, did it impact my finances? Absolutely. It made life just a little easier, because I work for two. You know, it's not just me. I provide for another human being. And it was a very powerful time. And I hope that we continue to have that fire for time to come. You know, we've got people that are near retirement, and we've got new employees that come in all the time, and they're so fortunate to reap the reward for the time that we've put in. Like I said, I've worked 25 years, and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But people retire, they travel and spend time with family for 6 months, and then they come back and they substitute. And that's pretty amazing that they would want to do that after they retire.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yes, I probably would. I probably would come back and substitute. I see the students, and you know, like life, we all have our ups and downs, but there's something about once you get on campus and you're working with the student and you see how hard something is for them to do. With some students being able to walk with assistance, and with other students just needing redirection. Once they start and you see the changes that they make, it's incredible to us, and I hope that the parents do see that also. With the strike, we all know how human we all are. At times we forget, with titles and with certain responsibility, we found that we have the same, you know, we're human. We have the same ups and downs. We have the same deep calling to be there for students who can't advocate for themselves. So we are the advocate for them when they're away from their parents. For future Local 99 members, being a part of the union does mean something. I know we put in a piece of it with dollars, but there's something to it. I would say you should spend time to think about why unions have come to be so important. We are not the only ones that are part of a union when it comes to working people. There are many different chains that want to be unionized for a reason. And our freedom here is so important. I really appreciate the freedom we have to even tell our story, use our voice, question what doesn't seem right to you, and just keep the good fight. Keep thinking about the future, because what we put in, not only will we benefit our future, behind us, the ones to come behind us, will also benefit. When I was a young girl, I started working at 16. I was making $3.25. I was rich at that time. Now we have people who start as a classified employee starting at 24. It wasn't that long ago, those same people were working for $12, $14 an hour. So that's why it's important to be a part of a union, because we don't see the everyday fights and bargaining. What we see is the outcome that the time has been placed in over a year's time. And when it comes to being a part of, Purple Tuesdays or sharing a small victory at work, question what goes on. If you have a concern, question it and get someone to advocate with you, because there is more change to come for the better of our lives. I remember going to a really big rally downtown, and it was at a park, and we had a stage, and I was running into many people that I knew over the decades that I've worked, and there was something about the energy. Of course, you saw purple everywhere, but the energy, the hope, I should say, the hope and the work that we put in. That day, I felt like we really, really made a difference. And there was the news there. There were people interviewing, and everybody just being open to their hardships and their obstacles. That's when I knew change needed to happen. And I believe we made it that day.